Welcome to the 517 In Your Business podcast. Here's your host, Mary Gaida.
If you've never been to Eagle Monk Pub and Brewery on West Mount Hope Highway in Lansing, I can promise you that everyone who's ever been there will always recall the mugs on the ceiling, the beer, the food, and why shouldn't you, right? That's what you're known for. And so that's why the 517 In Your Business podcast has the owners, Dan and Sonia Bonodono, on the podcast today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. What inspired you to open Eagle Monk Pub and Brewery back in 2012?
Yes, well, as most home brewers, we think someday we might open a pub or a brewery. And just so happens I retired at 54 from my career job. And it was an awesome opportunity to fire it up because we were basically, us and Bad Brewing over in Mason, we're opening about the same time, but no one else in the area. So it's like, hey, let's do it.
So you were really a pioneer in this area.
Yes.
That's got to feel pretty good. Dan, can you share how you developed your brewing style, especially the focus on the English style beers, wines, and ciders?
Well, I just, over time, because I homebrewed for well over 30 years, and it just, the breadiness of the British beers I really like. So that's kind of what we modeled Eagle Monk after. Although we have a lot of American style beers, German beers.
How long before you even started Eagle Monk Pub and Brewery were you thinking about this?
Well, on and off for a number of years, and it didn't feel real until we kind of the papers to buy this place.
To buy the building, yeah.
Then we kind of had to go forward.
Things get really real really fast, don't they?
Yes.
So when you were converting it into a brewery, how did you overcome any challenges that you faced? And what did you run into?
Well, we worked a lot of hours. One great thing is we had lots of volunteers that came in and helped us do many things. Cut concrete, build a bar top.
Scrape ivy off the wall, off the outside of the building.
Yeah, because This building had sat for 3+ years with no activity at all. So things were getting wild.
So with lots of volunteers, that probably meant they all really saw your vision and yes, supported it.
Yeah, a lot of them were members of the homebrew club. I was president at the time, for a few years there, and I just found people interested in helping out. It was great.
What does it take to be president of a homebrew club?
Volunteer.
Be the one the last one to take your hand down.
So can you tell me about the Mug Club? I know I referred to that in the beginning of our conversation, but it's really significant to the pub's community. So I'd like to hear more about it.
It really is. It's one of those things that makes it so customers have a belonging, like they belong to something bigger. And a lot of people have become friends with each other because of the Mug Club. And it really makes it so that people want to be here and they're part of that ownership of, part of us.
Talk to me about how that works for someone who's never been in before, who might be listening right now.
So the mugs that are available are behind the bar. We have local potters who make them. It's $75 for life, which is part of the reason why we have so many. Mm-hmm. And now we're kind of to the point where they get a bigger pour for the same price, but we're the point now where we hardly even have to tell people about it. Our regular customers will tell them. Like they'll be sitting by somebody at the bar who has a mug and they'll say, "Oh, what's that?" And they'll talk about it and tell them all about the Mug Club.
And it's very unique. And that is one of those things that make you special. Something else that's special is the signature beer you make, Dan. Can you talk about that?
The Red Eye Rye?
Yes, the Red Eye Rye.
Two parts of the Red Eye Rye. One is the name. It's just a cool sounding name. And that name came from one of the people in the homebrew club that just one day said, "Hey, I want some of your Red Eye Rye." Because I used to just call it the red rye. But it's an English pale ale with rye malt in it. So it gives it a nutty, minty finish. So that's really nice. And I have it on tap most all the time.
Yes. Talk to me about cider.
Well, we have ciders because people love to drink cider. If they don't like beer, because it's more sweet. It's not bitter like what the hops give it. Like beer is more bitter.
Right.
And we make our own wine as well so that people have a choice. They
Yeah,
have
I
an
love
option.
that. Can you walk through the process of creating a new beer? You've done this so much.
Well, sometimes you taste a good commercial beer and you say, "Wow, I would really like to make something like that. That's tasty." So you do a little research, kind of experimentation, and maybe you say, "Hey, it needs a little more rye malt in it, or it needs a little more chocolate malt."
Tweak the recipe.
Yeah, tweaking the recipe to make it taste the way you want it to, and then you let other people sample it,
Right.
see what they think. So that's pretty much the process.
So a little
I,
science, a little love,
yeah,
a lot of
I,
patience.
I do a little internet searching for recipes, and oh yeah, okay, well maybe I should add a little of that or this or that.
Well, and now, obviously, the food is very popular as well. And that seems really to get just as much love as the beer and other offerings. How do they complement the beer offerings when the items on your menu?
Well, I think because we decided to do a thin crust pizza, that was a little bit more unique in the area. And we didn't really know that at the time, but a lot of places have really thick crust pizza.
Right.
Our thought was that you don't want to fill up on pizza because you want to have room for beer.
Yeah, our pizza is beer drinking pizza. Unlike sometimes you go to a restaurant and have a thicker pizza, and wow, I'm full after one slice of pizza.
And we've come up with the combinations of pizza, some of it from our customers. We have a neighborhood pizza, and the neighbor across the way is the one who created that. And we have an Italian pizza that really is a Mediterranean style pizza, but we're Italian, so it's Italian.
I think that's great. Now, do you see the craft beer scene in Lansing evolving, and what role will Eagle Monk Pub and Brewery play?
Well, yeah, since we were one of the first, because us and Bad opened within 2 weeks of each other, but it was several years after that before the next one opened up. It's just good to be part of that community because
everyone is real friendly. Everyone helps each other. We have brewers get together once a month and talk about things to do to promote our breweries. And hopefully as in the greater Lansing area, the brewery scene will still be really viable and do really well.
Absolutely. And like you said earlier, there is a lot of word of mouth, and I think that makes a difference as well.
Yes.
I know I was there last summer. Sonia, you've cultivated a really nice outdoor space. I went along with a lot of other event organizers to learn more about it. Tell me what plans you have for that space in the future and what you do there.
So we can do a lot of things there. We have music there. As soon as it's warm enough, our bands on Wednesday night go out there and play outside. Last summer, we started having music on the weekends. We'll have music on the weekends this summer. We've done all sorts of things, retirement parties, vow renewal events, graduation parties, just anything you can think of that you need a big outside space, we can do it.
And the vibe there is not stuffy. It's just relaxed and everyone's having a great time. That's what it's all about, right?
It's just a friendly neighborhood pub.
And that's really what we wanted to create. And it's one of those things you don't necessarily know how you go about doing it, but we did. So we're real tickled.
And you've done well. And Sonia, I see you everywhere at community events. Is that really important for you to just be part of that community?
It really is. It's one of those, networking, talking to other business owners, talking to other nonprofits. It really is important for us. We have a giving tap that's once a month that we donate to a charity to a specific charity for that giving tap. It really is important to me to be part of the community. Our mugs are locally made. We have art on our walls that's local artists. Every month a new artist is up. So it really is.
And you have a lot of other events besides the ones that you have outdoors, the bingo and things like that. Tell me more about your events.
So we have the first Tuesday of the month is Books and Brews, and it's a book club facilitated by the adult librarian at Delta Township. And then we have Wednesdays is live music. Thursdays is bingo. And then the third Tuesday of the month, we have knitting, crocheting, crafts. And some of those came about because people asked us, hey, can we have this here on a regular basis? And we said, sure.
I love that. That's that whole family neighborhood vibe that you created.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's a recipe for success. Anything else that you'd like anyone listening to know about Eagle Monk Pub and Brewery?
So our beer garden is dog friendly, with on a leash with their person. People know if they can bring their dogs out in public or not, and it's really made it so people maybe have been gone all day after work and come home, grab their pup, and come to Eagle Monk instead of leaving that pup home all by themselves for so long.
I love
So
that.
people are real excited about being able to do that.
And we're very family friendly. Kids run around both inside here and in the beer garden. It's great. We have like soccer ball
Outside.
and games and
Yeah.
stuff like that for everyone to play with.
I love that you emphasized outside. All right. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the 517 In Your Business podcast. Get to know local businesses better by reading 517 Business Magazine. Get your subscription at 517mag.com/subscribe.